Okay, so in this video, what I wanted to do was I just wanted to go through the instructions, give you an idea as to how I've laid things out, and what I'm hoping some of your expectations or my expectations are with respect to the project, and answer some of the more common questions that I typically get on this type of stuff. So to start with, I've opened up the project instructions for project 0101. And again, the name of our project is Blink. This project is used to turn an LED on and off via computer control. And it is your very first wiring project. Now, the materials that you're going to need, obviously your Raspberry Pi, your Raspberry Pi's power supply. And you've previously configured this thing for headless control, namely we can talk to it via VNC. You're also going to want your Raspberry Pi GPIO extension shield, a full-blown or full-size breadboard, a 220 ohm resistor, an LED, red, and 2 DuPont wires. To also help you, I've included some videos that you'll want to take a look at, and as soon as I finish this video, I'm going to put that link right here. But we look at building the project, and we look at running the project, and specifically focusing on the software. So you're going to start by reading or referring to page 43 in the tutorial.pdf document that we got from Freenove. And looking at pages 43 through 52, I recommend reading through that. I wouldn't worry about memorizing what is in there, but it's helpful information to help you understand the project. Then we're going to look at 57 through 59, and that looks specifically at the code. Next, we're going to modify our Blink program and include a counter to be displayed after each cycle of the LED turning on and off. And I'll show you how to do that when we get into the running the project. Continuing down, here are some of the things that I'm hoping that you will give to me, you'll turn in as evidence of your completing this project. You're going to send all of your materials to me at my email address, jamesbow@bucks.edu. I want a copy of your code, and specifically I want it named a very particular way. So here is, using my name, how that file would be named. Project 0101 Blink, last name, first initial, the word code, telling me that this is the actual program, and then V122501, which is today's date. I want you to also take a couple of pictures, at least one of your wiring, okay, and one of your output screen. And then I want you to call those Project 0101 Blink, name, image 01 and image 02 with the date stamp. Finally, when you email this material to me, it's very important that you put the appropriate information in the subject of your email message. And what this does is my system gets your email and then takes your assignment and puts it into a special folder where I can find your submission when I'm ready to grade these and give you credit for them, okay? So put in the following subject. It's going to start out with rack space project colon, then the project ID and the project name. So for this project, it would be rack project colon, project 0101, and then blank. And that's all it needs. My system is actually looking for rack project, okay? And it's going to take this email that you send me, and it's going to put it in a very specific folder in my system so I can quickly find it, along with all the attachments that you have up here. All right, moving on. Here's an overall diagram of what we're looking at, and you'll see that in the video. We've got our Raspberry Pi, we have our ribbon cable, we have our extension, GPIO extension shield, and then I take a closer look. So here's the extension shield. And here are the connections. You see I've got a red wire and I've got a black wire. I've got my LED. I've got my resistor. That's all you need. And then over here on the right hand side, I'm telling you where to put things. So the Raspberry Pi is going to go into D1 through, and that should be, let's change that to the word through G20. And then you've got the placement of the red LED and your 220 ohm resistor. Okay. And again, we'll talk more about this when we go through the building of the project. All right. Next, I show you the code that we're starting with, and this is the blink.py. And when we talk about actually running the project, I will go through this code with you, line by line, to describe what is happening. It is going to be a learning process. You will not understand it after this first project, but you'll understand more and more as we go through these projects, okay? Now, there is a suggested variation on this, this project. And what I'm suggesting is that try running this program by changing out the 220 ohm resistor and changing it with a higher value resistor. You've got several resistor sets, okay? So pick a resistor with a higher value. Try plugging that into your project, okay? Replace the 220 and take your new resistor and put that in the same place. See what happens to the brightness of the LED, okay? All right, and that's the end of this project.